You know that feeling when you wake up in the morning, slightly hungover, and realize you're not in your own bed? That's pretty much how it felt landing on Earth. Except instead of a bed, it was a spaceship, and instead of a hangover, it was a full-blown crash. I'm Zog, your average intergalactic explorer, and this is the story of how I discovered the greatest secret of the universe, humanity's past. Captain Zog, we've hit something, said Blip, my trusty and often annoying robotic sidekick. Gee, you think? I groaned, picking myself up from the floor. The ship's alarms were blaring like a banshee at a rock concert. What did we hit? Blip's screen flickered, displaying a crude map of the solar system. According to my calculations, we have crash-landed on the third planet from the sun. Earth? The so-called primitive planet? Great. I sighed, looking at the mess around me. Panels were hanging off the walls, sparks were flying, and the whole ship smelled like burnt toast. Well, let's see what kind of primitive species we're dealing with here. We stumbled out of the ship and into what looked like a jungle. Vines hung from towering trees, and strange, colorful birds squawked overhead. I half expected a T-Rex to burst through the foliage. Blip, scan the area. Let's find some signs of intelligent life, I commanded. Blip whirred and beeped, his sensors sweeping the surroundings. Captain, I'm detecting a large structure to the northeast. It appears to be made of stone. Stone? Wow. Real advanced, I said with a smirk. Let's check it out. As we trudged through the dense undergrowth, I couldn't help but feel a twinge of excitement. Sure, Earth was supposed to be a backwater planet, but who knew? Maybe we'd find something interesting. We arrived at the structure Blip had detected. It was a massive stone temple, covered in vines and moss. Carvings of strange creatures adorned its walls. I had to admit, it was impressive for a bunch of so-called primitives. Blip, any idea what this place is? I asked. Blip's screen displayed a flurry of data. According to historical records, this is a Mayan temple. The Mayans were an ancient human civilization known for their advanced knowledge of astronomy and architecture. Astronomy and architecture? Sounds like my kind of people, I said, approaching the entrance. Let's see what secrets they were hiding. Inside, the temple was dark and damp, with narrow corridors leading deeper into the structure. We walked for what felt like hours, our footsteps echoing off the stone walls. Eventually, we reached a large chamber, illuminated by beams of sunlight filtering through cracks in the ceiling. In the center of the chamber was a stone pedestal, and on it sat a strange, glowing orb. I reached out to touch it, but Blip's alarms went off. Captain, wait! That orb is emitting a high level of energy. It could be dangerous. Dangerous. Schmangerous. We didn't come all this way for nothing, I said, grabbing the orb. As soon as I touched it, a blinding light filled the chamber. I felt a surge of energy course through my body, and suddenly, I wasn't in the temple anymore. I found myself standing in a bustling city. Skyscrapers towered overhead, and flying cars zipped by. The streets were filled with people, humans, going about their business. It was like something out of a sci-fi movie. Blip, where are we? I asked, looking around in amazement. Blip's voice crackled in my earpiece. Captain, it appears we have been transported to a different time period. Based on the architecture and technology, I would estimate we are in the 23rd century. The 23rd century? But how? I wondered aloud. Before Blip could answer, a group of humans in uniform approached us. They looked like soldiers, and they didn't seem happy to see us. Identify yourselves, one of them barked, pointing a weapon at me. Hi, I'm Zog, and this is Blip. We're just, passing through, I said, raising my hands. The soldier narrowed his eyes. Passing through, huh? You don't look like you're from around here. Yeah, well, we're not, I admitted. We're from another planet. Long story short, we crash-landed here and found this temple, and now we're here. The soldier lowered his weapon, his expression softening. Another planet, you say? Interesting. Follow me. There's someone you need to meet. We followed the soldiers through the city to a large building. Inside, we were led to a spacious office, where a woman with sharp features and a stern expression sat behind a desk. Commander Vega, we found these two near the temple. They claim to be from another planet, the soldier explained. The woman, Commander Vega, looked us up and down. Another planet, huh? That would explain the strange energy readings we've been getting. Who are you? I repeated my introduction, and Vega leaned back in her chair, studying us. So, You're telling me you found an ancient Mayan temple, touched a mysterious orb, and ended up here in the 23rd century? Pretty much, I said with a shrug. Commander Vega nodded slowly. Interesting. It seems you've uncovered one of humanity's greatest secrets. Commander Vega led us to a large underground facility. The place was filled with advanced technology and bustling scientists. In the center of the room was a massive holographic display, showing a map of the world. This is Project Kronos, Vega explained. For centuries, humanity has been exploring its own past, uncovering hidden truths and forgotten histories. The orb you found is a temporal device capable of transporting people through time. I stared at the holographic map, my mind racing. So the Mayans weren't just ancient astronomers. They had access to time travel? Vega nodded. Exactly. The Mayans were one of many ancient civilizations that possessed advanced knowledge far beyond their time. Much of that knowledge was lost, but we've been slowly piecing it back together. Blip beeped excitedly. Captain, this is incredible! If we can access this technology, we could learn so much about human history. Yeah, but why keep it a secret? I asked, turning to Vega. She sighed. Because knowledge is power. If the wrong people got their hands on this technology, it could be disastrous. We've been working to keep it out of the wrong hands while using it to better understand our past. I nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. So what happens now? Vega smiled. Now, we'll help you get back to your own time. But first, there's something I want to show you. She led us to another room, where a large, ancient-looking book sat on a pedestal. The cover was adorned with intricate designs and strange symbols. This is the Lost Chronicle of Earth, Vega said. It's a record of humanity's hidden past, written by those who came before us. It contains knowledge and wisdom that could change the course of history. I approached the book, feeling a sense of awe. This is incredible, but why show it to us? Because you've proven yourselves worthy, Vega replied. You've uncovered a piece of our history, and now it's time to share it with the world. With the help of Commander Vega and her team, Blip and I were able to return to our own time. The journey back was a blur of light and sound, and before I knew it, we were standing in the jungle once again, the Mayan Temple looming behind us. Captain, that was quite an adventure, Blip said, his voice filled with excitement. Yeah, you could say that again, I replied, still reeling from everything we'd seen and learned. As we made our way back to the ship, I couldn't help but feel a sense of accomplishment. We'd uncovered one of humanity's greatest secrets and gained a new understanding of their past. Blip, make a note. Earth is not as primitive as we thought, I said with a grin. Blip beeped in agreement. Noted, Captain. What's our next move? I thought for a moment, then smiled. I think it's time we shared our findings with the rest of the galaxy. Who knows what other secrets are out there just waiting to be uncovered? With that, we boarded the ship and set a course for home. As we soared through the stars, I couldn't help but feel excited for what lay ahead. After all, the universe is a big place, and there's always something new to discover. Our return to the Galactic Council was met with both skepticism and intrigue. The council members, a diverse group of beings from various planets, listened intently as I recounted our adventure and presented the Lost Chronicle of Earth. So, you're telling us that humans, a species we've long considered primitive, had access to time travel? One of the council members, a tall, blue-skinned alien named Dravak, asked incredulously. Exactly, I replied. Their ancient civilizations were far more advanced than we ever imagined. They had knowledge and technology that rivaled, if not surpassed, our own. The council members murmured among themselves, clearly shocked by this revelation. Finally, Dravak spoke up again. This is a remarkable discovery, Zog. If what you're saying is true, it could change everything we know about human history and the development of intelligent life in the galaxy. I nodded. That's why we need to share this knowledge. Humanity's past holds valuable lessons and insights that could benefit all of us. The council members continued to discuss the implications of our findings, and after what felt like an eternity, Dravak turned to me with a smile. Very well, Captain Zog. The Galactic Council will support you in sharing this knowledge with the galaxy. But be warned, With great knowledge comes great responsibility. Use it wisely. With the Council's support, we began the process of disseminating the knowledge contained in the Lost Chronicle of Earth. We held conferences, published papers, and even created a holographic exhibit that allowed beings from all over the galaxy to experience humanity's ancient past firsthand. The response was overwhelming. Scholars, scientists, and explorers from every corner of the galaxy flocked to learn more about the hidden history of Earth. The revelations about the Mayans and other ancient civilizations sparked a renewed interest in human history and culture. For humanity, this newfound recognition brought both challenges and opportunities. They were no longer seen as a primitive species, but as a civilization with a rich and complex history. This new perspective opened doors for collaboration and exchange with other advanced species. As for me, I became something of a celebrity. My name was known across the galaxy, and I was invited to speak at prestigious events and universities. But despite all the fame and accolades, I never forgot the thrill of that first discovery, standing in a jungle on Earth, holding a glowing orb. One evening, as I gazed out at the stars from my ship, Blip beeped beside me. "Captain, do you ever wonder what other secrets are out there waiting to be uncovered?" he asked. I smiled, feeling that familiar twinge of excitement. "All the time, Blip, all the time, and I can't wait to find out." With that, we set a course for our next adventure, ready to uncover the mysteries of the universe, one discovery at a time. The Lost Chronicles of Earth had shown us that history is never truly lost. It's just waiting for someone to uncover it. And who knows, maybe our greatest discoveries were still ahead of us.